Hi everyone, it's Emily, and I've been living in tiny houses in various forms since 2014. My first tiny house was 117 square feet. It was a tumbleweed Lusby model lent to me by my friend and tiny house community organizer Elaine Walker. We posted a video tour of that house, and it now has nearly 4 million views on YouTube. I lived in Elaine's house for 9 months, and then I moved into a 300 square foot studio apartment closer to work and with more room for my dog and designing my own tiny house. After 2 years of planning and design, I finally purchased a 24-foot trailer and began working with my good friend Andrew Bennett at Trekker Trailers to build my ultimate tiny house. It was a 225 square foot, 2-story home I called Little Sunshine. We finished it in 2015. In the midst of building that house, I met Clark, who was very handy and helpful with finishing Little Sunshine, and who happened to live in his own version of a tiny house, a sailboat called a Temptress, which is where we both spend most of our time now. Emily's tiny adventure has become Emily and Clark's tiny adventure. Check out our YouTube channel and subscribe for more videos from us. Today, in this video, I'm going to take you back to the tour of my completed custom tiny house, Little Sunshine. This video was filmed in December 2015 at Trekker Trailers in Leesburg, Florida. The shell of my tiny house took only a matter of weeks with Andrew Bennett and his team. I set up a time-lapse camera to see the frame go up. In just 3 days, my tiny dream was already larger than life. Over the next few months, most days after work, I picked up my dog and drove an hour to the work site to work on drywall, electrical, and exterior finishes. I also spent a lot of time at home, planning out furniture, stairs, and a floor plan for the inside. Soon the house was coming together and my SketchUp plans became a reality. Ideas on paper became physical appliances, cabinets, light fixtures, and my tiny house was taking shape. The windows I put in filled the house with natural light, and the yellow color really popped. I joked with my friend Martha that it was my little box of sunshine, and the name stuck. I even had friends come to help with the process on the weekends. I held an open house about a month before we finished to give people a chance to see the process. Soon after, I met Clark, and together we brought the house to completion in December 2015, before our first sailing trip. Here's the tour of the finished dream house, Little Sunshine, which Andrew jokingly began referring to as Emily's tiny mansion. We even had a crew from HGTV's Tiny House Hunters show feature Little Sunshine in an episode. I think it turned out really well. I do apologize for the sound quality in this video. There's a lot of traffic at the work site, and we didn't have audio equipment at that time. We didn't even have a YouTube channel. We just made this video to share my house with family and friends. We've now added subtitles so you can understand what I'm saying all the way through the video.
Hi, I'm Emily and this is my tiny house. I'm here at Trekker Trailers in Leesburg, Florida to show you the last 6 months of work that we've been doing on my tiny house. I'll give you a tour of the outside and the inside and some of the cool things that we have placed. My house is built on a 24-foot trailer with about 1.5 foot that extends out the front for a bunkhouse that I'll show you later. And then in the back, we've also got a 6-foot porch that extends beyond the trailer. It's actually hung from 2 special ordered 30-foot beams that go across the entire length of the house. So that's a nice feature. It's a porch on the back. We have cypress siding with a dark brown stain. There's some board and batten finishes, and then there's also metal siding. I enjoyed the combination of the different elements and kind of bringing it all together. The roof is not flat, but it's very close to being flat. It's got a slight slope on it to maximize the interior space in the house itself. Alright, come around the side of the house with me. Up here, above this bump out, we have the air conditioning, the exterior part of it. There's a hose that actually, where the condensation comes out, would be a great way to water potted plants or gardens from there. Obviously, where you pull it from. I chose these metal porch lights to kind of complement the metal siding. They're here, they're at the front door, and they're also in the back. You'll see from the inside that these French doors really open up the house quite a bit. I envisioned that eventually there would be a deck here that connects the French doors to the porch on the back, so it'll be a good indoor-outdoor living space with the doors that can be open all the time. Lots of windows on this space. I spent a lot of money on windows because I really wanted to open it up and maximize the feel of open space on the inside. Quite a few outdoor outlets. for anything that I would need to do outside. I also plumbed it for an outdoor shower. I have a dog. Much easier to wash a dog outside than inside, so eventually there will probably be a shower here. And then we have a vent here for the composting toilet, which is inside the bathroom over here. And I'll show you the porch a little bit later, but let's go underneath and take a look at all the stuff underneath the porch. Underneath the porch is where I hid a lot of the ugly stuff that I normally see on the outside of houses that I don't like. This is where the electrical comes in. It all goes to here. I've got a tankless propane hot water heater that I use for the shower, for doing dishes, for the washing machine, all that stuff, and all runs off the tank over here. And this is also where the water comes into the house. There's another cool feature over here. We have a shed. This is underneath half of my staircase on the inside. It was space that wasn't being used. And get it so it opens up like this, and there's plenty of space. I've got peat moss in there right now for the composting toilet, but it could be gardening supplies, paint, whatever you'd like. And it just closes. Like so. And that's where basically my garage down here. And I've left these beams up so that I could put in some lattice and then close the whole thing and probably put a little gate on it. I can store my bike in it, whatever else I'd like to do. Here's above it is this great porch, which we'll also see from the inside when I take you on the tour there. And this is the main living space. This is going to be the living room. All the doors, I make sure I have a lot of doors to really open up the space. I have a set of French doors here. All the doors have between the glass mini blinds, up and down and into as well. My dog likes to see outside. And the front door as well over here. Above us is the mini split air conditioning and heating unit, which works really well. It takes about 5 minutes to completely heat or cool this entire place. In the floor, we have in-floor storage. Pull up. Right now it's still paint and hardware and everything from finishing the house, but I have 4 of these huge bins that go all the way back to here. There's quite a bit of storage space. In this space here, I'm going to have my digital piano, which fits exactly in this space, and then in front of this, I'm going to build an L-shaped sofa here, probably with a television over here, and lots of storage inside the couch. There's lots of windows throughout the entire space. This living area opens up right into the kitchen area over here. I did butcher block countertops, partly for cost, but also partly for looks. I ended up doing drywall in the main area. I really like the look of drywall, but I wanted to include much more wood and natural looking elements. And I included the butcher block countertop over here and in this dining area. Also complemented the floor. My kitchen, I packed a lot in this tiny space. I also extended the counter. This way there's a hinge that pops this up. So you can have dishes sitting here or groceries, getting produce ready to wash it. And a double burner stove. So there's enough to do pasta and sauce or rice and vegetables, things of that nature. We have a microwave oven and convection oven in one here. There's a little bit of space inside for baking or cooking. Okay. I tried to split up my fridge and my freezer. They sell all in one unit, but I found that the freezer often gets really frosty and leaky and just not good to deal with. So I found this 4.4 cubic foot refrigerator that I put down here, and then moved my, this is a freezer or a refrigerator. You can switch back and forth. It's 1.4 or 1.1 cubic feet. It's enough for pizza and ice cream and the ice cubes, things that you want in a freezer. So by putting it up here, I've gained all this counter space here. So, and then this is kind of a multi-use counter space or dining space. So it's really quite a large kitchen for a tiny space. Here's an extra little bit about the kitchen. We went from all custom cabinetry to just ready-made, off-the-shelf Home Depot cabinets, and then we added some modifications. This countertop extends As you saw earlier, there's also a wastebasket that comes out here that we custom built in there, but we left enough space in the front, we have them around this way, that we can build a back into this shelf and have little shelves for canned goods or whatever you'd like to put in there. I've got 3 pretty good sized drawers that run the full length of the countertop. I'm planning to put in a tray that will come out this way. It would be great for silverware and really low profile things to free up this cabinet for other things. There will probably be something up here, but if not, it'd be a great place to put cereal, other things like that. Some other great space here. Luckily, when we planned out the kitchen, there was just enough space between the last cabinet and the refrigerator that we could put these really tall stools. And there are 2 of them. And they fit exactly inside for dining. So we'll probably have 2 more substantial stools with backs that we'll use for everyday eating, but this allows us some extra guest seating that tucks right away and doesn't take up the floor space. The kitchen, one of my favorite parts of the kitchen is the lighting underneath, and rather than not using the light that was in the microwave and installing new lights, we just kind of hacked into the microwave, so now when you push the microwave light, all of our under cabinet lights illuminate. We also built a really spectacular, in my opinion, shelf out of the remainder of the butcher block here. It was all routed out and carved out. We've got places to hang things and for lots and lots of counter space without having to put stuff on the counter, so you can wipe the counter clean all the time. Backsplash I chose by survey on my Facebook page, and I think it turned out really nice. It complements the stainless steel, and I chose the yellow color to go with the exterior, and kind of the yellow sunshiny theme to the whole entire house. I spent a lot of money on my sink. It's a very deep sink. You see a lot of tiny houses with these itty bitty little sinks that you can't do dishes in. I didn't choose a gigantic sink, but I did choose one that was deep and not too wide, so it didn't take up too much width of the counter space. I also splurged a little bit on these custom sized appliances and the stove. I just really wanted a place to cook, and I think it's a really important part of the house. I love that it opens up to everything else. We had a party here a couple of weeks ago, and just opening up these French doors, preparing food, setting food here, it just opened up, and it was just such a great usable space. So I really recommend, if you're planning a tiny house, to do the extra work to plan a kitchen and spend a little bit of extra money on things like this thing, like the sprayer, things that are all-in-one that are clean and can tuck away. So that is my kitchen. Down this hallway and to the right we have a bathroom. There's going to be a sliding door here. It'll probably be made out of a combination of fabric and wood. It'll slide open and close. Just want to turn this way. I've got one of my favorite features of the house, which is my 54-inch bathtub and shower. I really used a lot of space to get a good sized bathroom. I lived in a tiny house before, and the one thing I really missed was the bathtub. And, if you look up this way, the washer and dryer. I'd read a lot of reviews about the all-in-one units, and they took way too long to complete a cycle. A lot of them had like a 1 cubic foot capacity, which is smaller than my microwave. So I wanted a normal size washer and dryer. We tested the washer today, and it only takes about 45 minutes to wash things. It seems to get things pretty clean. We're going to test the dryer in a little bit. The timer does go up to 140 minutes, so I assume it's going to take a little longer than a regular dryer, but I can run them both off the electricity that I put in the house. They don't require more electricity like the ones in a typical house. People ask me about my composting toilet probably more than anything else. This is the composting toilet we chose. It's an airhead. It's smaller than the Nature's Head. It's meant to be used in boats. It's shorter this way. I think it's shorter this way too. Pretty easy to use, number one, and number two, there's a flap that opens. You do your business in there, and then there's a crank. You crank to kind of mix it in, keep it from smelling, and then this plug over here, there's a fan located in this side that constantly pushes air out, so there should be zero smell. This is where the liquids are collected, and you have to empty that occasionally. And then originally I had planned for the washer and dryer to be side by side here and to have a closet from above so that this would go all the way across. I ended up sacrificing some closet space above and moving the dryer here to free up this floor space because I thought this would be an awesome place to store cleaning supplies and linens and all kinds of stuff. You could put a curtain rod across this and make it a closet as well. We used a lot of the space between the studs for shampoo, kind of backstock of toiletries, things like that. Got a nice little alcove here for toothpaste, things of that sort. A really great medicine cabinet with mirrors on both sides, adjustable shelves. This is an innovative solution that my boyfriend came up with. These are under cabinet kitchen lights. And they actually have a low and a high setting, so if you're not a morning person, you can set them on low. But we sort of hatched them so that they belong to this switch too. So, I have 3 windows in my house that are awning windows that open this way so that I can leave my house, and even if it rains, nothing's going to get wet. There's one in the bathroom, there's one in the kitchen, and then there's one in the hallway by the loft. I figured those were areas where I probably wanted to have a lot of ventilation. The other windows, if you look out this way, for the most part are sliding windows. And I think I have like 10 windows in here. And by opening all of them, you get a lot of good cross breeze, and it's just kind of like living in a big tree house. It's lots of air circulating all the time. Then when you come out of the bathroom and you go this way, there is a set of stairs that go up to the loft. And one of the cool features of the stairs is that they open up. You also have storage inside. Right now I have some cleaning supplies there, but I imagine eventually I'm going to paint these and build them out so I can keep socks and smaller clothing items, seasonal clothing items like that in here. So these first 2 open up, and then the outside is a garden shed that you'll see from the outside. Another special feature of this house is the porch. Follow me up here. Got another door and a 6x8 porch. The loft is the bedroom, and it's also the closet. We've got this great closet which is 4 feet long and 2 feet wide. It's going to fit a good amount of clothing. I'll probably also put a shelf in here or put some bins in here that open up this way for shoes, things like that. One of the ideas I've played around with is actually putting in a laundry chute down here or in the bottom of the closet so I can get dressed right here and just throw my dirty clothes into the bathroom and for the washer and dryer. This loft is exceptionally big for a tiny house. It actually fits a king-size bed. It spans the whole width of the house.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you might also want to check out the tour of the very first tiny house I lived in, or the tour of the sailboat that I live on now. You might also want to check out the video I made about what I learned on my tiny house journey. Also, please visit our channel, Emily and Clark's Tiny Adventure, and hit that subscribe button to keep in touch with all of our adventures, living small and intentionally aboard our sailboat. See you guys next time.